Hi, welcome to Best Friends. This is going to be a real wintertime edition. It's the one for Thanksgiving. And I need to remind you that we have things coming up. By things, I mean events in December. So you have plenty of time to prepare, okay? We have Santa Paws on the 14th and the 15th. And we have a beautiful new set this year. I even made sure Santa is wearing a new suit when he comes this time. So make sure to call and make your appointment for that event. And then we also have, oddly enough, a wine tasting event that's going on at Medicine Creek Winery. And beyond that, which is on the 7th, they will donate $1 from each bottle sold to Animal Services for the month of December. So if you are a connoisseur, keep that in mind. Let's look at some kitties now. This is Thomas. He responds to Tom as well, but he's neutered, so I'm a little puzzled about that. However, you know, what's in a name after all. He has been raised as an apartment kitty cat, and he is 8 years old. He has been well cared for. He is good with people, as you can see, and probably good with dogs. I think we had that understanding, although his owners did leave a very nice personality profile, and you can read that if you come to visit. He may not do well with other cats, though, and that's not unusual for an older male cat, although it could be that if a different cat were introduced to him, he would be all right with it eventually. I suspect, though, that he probably wouldn't go into a home with another cat in it all that readily. Where are you going, mister? He's a beautiful gray tabby bicolor. Handsome boy. And pretty confident, really. Our Catwoman volunteer, Wilma, informs me that this kitten's name is Killer. I think that's kind of a scary name for a really adorable kitten. He has a he has a face that could make anybody laugh, is what he has. He looks like a little black bat, but he's also very, very active. He is actually a little attention deficit, very, very distractible, purry, loving, very warm. And you know what? I would have to say that while you are adorable, he's really so ugly, he's cute. Right? I know. That was mean, wasn't it? Mean. Anyway, if you want a kitty that's going to make you laugh, this would do it. This is a South County kitty. She's from Rochester. Has a wonderful plush coat that is brown tabby and white. And she has some kind of an interesting thing going on with one eye. She has some rust in her coat, and oddly enough, she also has some rust color in her eyes, or the one eye anyway. I was looking at it to see if what looked like an injury, but it doesn't. So anyway, she is spayed, and she's a little on the chunky side, nice and cuddly side. Yes, she is. She's beautiful. And I think she would be very adaptable in a home. So the thing is that people need to keep a cat when they adopt one inside for a long enough period, and that varies from cat to cat, for the cat to identify with their home. Cats are very structure oriented, as much as we would like to believe that they are bonded to humans. They are to some extent. Certainly they know who provides their food, but they bond very tidily to structures. That's why when a cat is very confused and panicky, often they will kind of go to ground if they don't see anything that seems familiar to them. And if they lose their smells and everything that means home to them. That's also why moving is such a big deal with a cat. And you have to reacclimate them every time that happens. It'd be handy if we could just say, hey, this is our address, cat. This little female has kind of an interesting coat. She has the spotted tabby, and then the agouti tipping all the way through. I would be willing to bet this one would be really good in a family that is fairly quiet, but I think that she would also fit in a family with other pets. She is a sweet, sweet girl, and she really is pretty, kind of unusual. This is a spayed female. She is tuxedo, and she is, well, she's not exactly on the grumpy side. You know, we have a class of kitties that come to us that we call Hissy Heidi, which means that they hiss at you at first and then they go run behind their litter pan. She's more outgoing than that, but she's still kind of shy. And she's pretty sure a camera is an evil instrument, so I don't think you're getting as positive an impression of her as you would get if you came to visit her. But she is a very nice cat. What is that? Is that your tail? It is. Oh, yes. Now we're warming up. That's such a clean coat pattern, that nice crisp black and white. And she has a coat that's really the perfect length. It's one that you can keep brushed, but isn't going to embed in the upholstery. It's going to be fairly easy care. This is a primo adoption. This guy is very gentle. He's really confident. He is extremely tolerant. He is great with little kids. Really, really would recommend this guy for a young family. He probably will deal well with dogs if you give him the option of adjusting to them. I don't know how he will do with other cats. He may do well with a younger female, but he is just an outstanding choice. He is a beautiful boy, the buff and white bicolor, and he's soft and sweet and just an easy guy. And look at his face, it's peach colored. Isn't he beautiful? So, not to confuse you, I know that we had a buff, tabby, and white male a minute ago. That one was medium hair. This is a buff, tabby, and white short hair. His name is Mickey, and he is just as easygoing and lovely as the previous cat was. The only difference is he isn't neutered yet, but that of course will happen. The second thing that you need to know is that he really hates dogs. And when I say hates dogs, I don't mean that he will get along with your wonderful, gentle, loves cats dog. I mean he will eat it. And it's not a good idea to test him on that. So surely no one would want their dog injured. We would recommend against adopting this cat if you have a dog in your home or if you plan to get one. He probably would do okay with a female cat in the household. I don't think I would go with another male. There are lots of weird things that can happen there, but he is a great cat with kids. We don't have time for any more cats today, although we do have more cats. Remember that these guys that you saw today may already be adopted by the time you are able to watch the show, but that's a good thing. So we will have more cats when you come to visit us. Stick with us. We're going to go visit with some dogs now. This is Max. He's greeting you. He's the first dog that we're going to talk about today, and he may end up being my favorite. As you can see, he is very focused, and I think he will train very well. You know, there's that thing about you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, Max is 6. He's neutered now. And I think you could teach this dog nearly anything. One thing you have to be cautious of is that if you look like a chicken, you might be in danger because he has had an incident with chickens. He didn't go through a fence to get to them or anything. They came to him, which was not very smart of them, as it turns out. But most of us don't have chickens. Of course, you have to be cautious if you have neighbors with chickens, because we certainly wouldn't want anything untoward to happen. But other than that, I think Max is a great dog. He does need a sturdy fence, a 6-foot fence, just because he can go visiting, and we don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen either. But I think he is just a lovely dog. He's supposed to be a shepherd lab mix. I think probably he is a mix of a shepherd mix and a lab mix. But the consequence is that you have an exceptionally attractive dog. And I think he's just fun. He sits and visits, and he walks on leash. He's just a cool guy. Yes, you are. You're just a cool guy. Could you look at the camera? Would you see how appealing he is? What lovely ears and all. He'd rather just sit there and let you pet him. This is Helen. Helen is a very active dog. She is a pit lab mix. She is a love. She has a very soft mouth. She came from Aberdeen Paws. And she is full of energy. This is definitely a dog for a family that loves to jog. This dog can go for miles and be just great. She's young enough, and yet she has a wonderful disposition. She's very loving, But she's not going to stay still. She's not going to be in one place for very long, and she definitely needs training. She needs a very securely fenced yard and probably no other female dogs, because after all, she does have some pit in there, and we just don't do that. There's no point in tempting fate. But she would like to be a lap dog. She really would. And she would like your lap. Yes, she would. Woof. Woof. You are just a wonder is what you are. Yes, all of that energy ought to be bottled and sold to PSE or something. My goodness. Where do you get it all, huh? Sometimes I wonder what we feed these guys. Isn't she cute? This, he's a young dog. This is no, can I start over?
Edit.
This guy came to us without a name, and I don't know exactly what we're calling him right now, but he is an exceptionally beautiful dog. He's a pit bull, clearly, very well built one, I think. His neck is awfully muscular, but he has a lovely disposition. He has a very soft mouth, loves exercise. This is a dog that can go on for a long time. Lots of endurance here, lots of stoicism, and yet a very gentle, sweet guy. He isn't neutered yet. Of course, that's just part of the adoption process here. And I think he is unusually nice. We've always been willing to place pits at this shelter. We've never discriminated against them, but then again, we're not stupid about where they're placed, and we do require a home visit. And this dog would be a treasure just because of who he is. And yet, clearly, you want to make sure that he's trained and that you have enough knowledge to keep him safely and keep him safe. Because there are a lot of hazards out there in the world for a dog that people are automatically afraid of. Although I have a tough time understanding why anyone would be afraid of this one. There are a lot of people who have had bad experiences with pits. And if they aren't maintained responsibly and compassionately, that can have a bad ending. And I don't want that to happen with any pit that we place. And so we are very careful with our pitty types. But he's just a terrific dog. This is Luna. I bet you can't tell why she's named Luna, huh? She's a shepherd. She's about a year old. She has had a litter of puppies, and then her owner fell on hard economic times and didn't get to keep the mother after she had placed all of the puppies. Luna is very shepherdy. She has that kind of thing where herding breeds will kind of anticipate anything that you do, and that's very shepherdy of her. Luna is anticipating going to see her friend Heather, who is standing behind the camera. But she has decided that she's willing to stay with me for the moment. These dogs need some special kinds of things. For one thing, a fence. For another, safety from prey drive, because they are prey driven and it can get them in trouble. She needs lots of exercise and an owner that's willing to provide that for her. And somebody who can tolerate lots of vocalization, because they tend to do that. Not so much when she's not going somewhere or nothing's going on, but when something is, then they get kind of anxious and want to be where whatever is happening before it happens. It's just the way they are. She's a beautiful dog, isn't she? Yes, it's a good girl. It's a good Luna. Very cuddly. She's pretty sure she's a lap dog. We thought we would close with a puppy. This is Jack Russell Dachshund mix. We are pretty sure. Maybe. Anyway, he's only 4 months old, and he just came up to adoption today, so he's still a little bit unsure and shaky, but he's doing really well. I think he's adorable. I think he has the prettiest little face. Yes, he does. And he's very warm and snuggly, which I could use since the other dogs I've been messing with have gotten me soaked and fur covered. Yes. Anyway, puppy needs puppy training. You'll probably need a sturdy fence or at least a means for containing him outdoors that is not a rope or a chain. Absolutely. A kennel would probably work. I would not leave this guy alone, certainly not at this age, or you're going to have a barking problem. Jack Russell and Dachshund are just that way, aren't they? Yes, I know. Mm-hmm. Sure. Who would want to be alone anyway? Anyway, sweet little guy, kind of out there in the air about what kinds of behavior you're going to expect from him. I would say digging is going to be one of them, but we don't have any way to assess that since our kennels have hard floors. And he was a stray, so he came to us without any history. I think he's going to be a wonderful pet, though, if somebody will invest the training time and patience in him that is needed. A sweet little fella. So that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for visiting with us. We enjoyed it, and hope you did too.